I'm Hank Philippi Ryan. This is Thursday at 12:30 Eastern, and I think I'm here live on Instagram and here live on Facebook. Am I live on Facebook? That would be great to see. This is Thursday at 12:30 p.m. I'm Hank Philippi Ryan, and I'm so pleased you're joining us now for today's edition of First Chapter Fun. Welcome, welcome. I see Glennie on Instagram, so I know people are on Instagram. That's wonderful. And I see that we're live on Facebook now, so leave me a comment. Hi, Diane. Nice to see you on Instagram. Leave me a comment on Facebook. We will have the weekly decision about whether Facebook is going to let me see your comments. So let me know if you are here. I see that there are people on Facebook, the little numbers ticking up. And so I know you're here. So let me know. Hey, Jen, how are you? I'm so glad to see you all here today. The numbers ticking up like crazy on the screen, but I still don't see any comments on Facebook. So perhaps today they are not going to let me see them. I'm going to type a comment to myself. How about that? And see if it'll let me do that. Welcome to First Chapter Fun, everyone, where it is never a dull moment. And I see my own comment that I commented to myself on Facebook. That is quite interesting. So welcome, welcome, welcome to all of you here on Instagram and here on Facebook for today's wonderful, amazing first chapter on First Chapter Fun. Today we're going to be reading to you from an international bestseller, The Wicked Sister, and here it is, The Wicked Sister by the fabulous Karen Dionne. This is an incredibly compelling thriller, psychological thriller. #1 bestseller in Germany. She just made the bestseller list in Germany. And Karen Dionne, if you don't know her, is a spectacularly wonderful author. And we are so pleased today to be reading her book, from her book, The Wicked Sister, here on First Chapter Fun. So welcome to all of you. I see the numbers ticking up. I'm so glad that you're here. However, I am not seeing the comments on Facebook. I think Hannah Mary McKinnon and I, my partner in fictional crime, should just get on the phone and call Facebook and say, what is the deal with the comments? So welcome to all of you. I'm seeing you all assemble now, and I'm happy that you're here joining us. Hannah Mary McKinnon and me on First Chapter Fun. This is episode 115, which is really quite amazing. And this is because of you. This is episode number 115 because of you all who are here every Tuesday and Thursday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern to hear another chapter, another wonderful first chapter on First Chapter Fun. Hannah is telling me that the comments are on Facebook, and I do not know why I am not seeing them. And so once again, I will have to see them the next time. This is so frustrating. I don't know why that happens. So again, finally, welcome. This is First Chapter Fun, and this is Thursday, and I'm Hank Philippi Ryan, and Hannah Mary McKinnon is here on Facebook and Instagram with me for this wonderful first chapter. Are you doing holiday cards this year? I can't resist doing it because it is so much fun to get them. And I always, just when it comes about Thanksgiving, I think, ooh, I ought to be doing my holiday cards. One year I sent them out as New Year's cards. That works out just perfectly. So once I did them as Valentine cards because, you know, a card is a card and we all like to get them. And I wonder if now during the pandemic, cards like that are even more valuable and more delightful and more wonderful connection to get with all of us. It's so funny. It's the people who write those holiday letters in their Christmas cards or Hanukkah cards. I love that. I love to read those. And so if you are sending holiday cards this year, I'd love to get one from you. And if you want one from me, in the United States, just message me somewhere and I'll love to put you on the list. I just see Karen Dionne has joined us on Instagram, and I hope she is on Facebook too. Jen is saying this is the first time that I have ever sent them. Oh, Jen, that's wonderful. And I wonder if that's the same thing, if that's the connection we're all going for. The same thing that we do here on First Chapter Fun every Tuesday and Thursday, get to make a connection with the community of people who like the same things you do, love the same things you do, and it's a way for us to sort of be together and share a situation. Those yearly letters are going to be strange this year, aren't they? What did you do during 2020? Well, as much as we possibly could, we stayed home and we always wore a mask. So Hannah is telling me that Karen is on Facebook and Instagram. I wish I could see the comments, you all. I'm going to do some research today about why that happens. But welcome, welcome, welcome to First Chapter Fun. We're so happy you're here this afternoon. We are going to read from The Wicked Sister by Karen Dionne, an internationally best-selling author, an absolutely fabulous person. We've come to be dear friends over the past couple of months because she and I worked together on a project called The Back Room, which is an incredible way for authors and readers to connect via Zoom in breakout rooms and really talk to each other one-on-one, as close to up close and personal as Zoom can be. So we have twice a month, we have an unbelievable array, a panel of authors for readers and authors to come connect with and chat with. We start with 20 questions really quickly, 20 questions, really fun questions for these 4 authors. And then we divide into breakout rooms where everyone in the breakout rooms gets to talk with each author for 15 minutes. It has worked beautifully. It's really fun, and we invite you, Karen Dionne and I invite you to please join us at the back room. You can check out the panels coming up on bksp.org. I hope someone will put that in the comments. Karen, maybe you will. bksp.org. There's also a new website coming, but come visit us. The next event is December 20th, and it's Joe Finder and David Heska-Wandley-Whedon and Heather Gudenkauf and Lisa Unger. That you can meet them all up close and personal via Zoom. It is completely astonishing. We had one of our very first guests, of course, was Hannah Marion McKinnon, and she will tell you how much fun it is. So Karen and I take turns hosting, and we would love to see you there. And today we are thrilled to host, Hannah and I are thrilled to host Karen Dionne. We are reading for you the first chapter, a little bit more than the first chapter, of her fabulous book, The Wicked Sister. So if you are all ready to hear Glennie Glitter is saying, and drink recipes, exactly. Karen's family, is it your son-in-law, Karen, and your daughter, are marvelous mixologists, and they create a cocktail for every book that comes on our program. So and they're gorgeous. They take these incredible photographs of them. The photographs are just as delicious as the drinks. So that's fun. Go to the website, bksp.org, or whatever Karen is putting up as the new website. And it has a lot of hyphens in it, so it's better if she posts it. And we will see you there. At one of our upcoming events. They're very addictive, these events, because the idea of being able to really chat with authors up close and personal, whether you're an author or whether you're a reader or whether you're a little bit of each, or it's just a way in these terrible times to keep connected, just like we do here at First Chapter Fun. So welcome, welcome to all of you, and let me read you a little bit about Karen Dionne. If Facebook decides to boot us out, if Instagram decides to boot us out, or Facebook decides to boot us out, you know the deal. We will do it over. It'll be our fault, not your fault, and we'll come back and read the chapter over, so you'll be able to get the full joy of hearing a little bit more than the first chapter of Karen Dionne's The Wicked Sister. As always, it will be in our archives here on Instagram, on IGTV, and on Facebook in our videos. So this will be number 115 of the fabulous first chapters that you can take some time off, a little bit of time off, and hear whenever you like. So shall we let me tell you a little bit about Karen Dionne, and I'll put on my glasses to make sure you get every word. Karen Dionne is the USA Today and #1 internationally best-selling author of the award-winning psychological suspense novel The Marsh King's Daughter, published by G.P. Putnam's Sons in the US and in 25 other languages, and The Wicked Sister, brand new Wicked Sister, also from G.P. Putnam's and Sons. The Marsh King's Daughter was named a 2018 Michigan Notable Book, took home the Berry and Crimson Scribe Awards for Best Novel, and was chosen as one of the best books of 2017 by many, many booksellers and reviewers. In a starred review, Publishers Weekly calls The Wicked Sister a devastating, magic realism-dusted psychological thriller. The review says Dionne paints a haunting portrait of a family hurtling toward the tragic destiny they can foresee, but are powerless to stop. Karen enjoys nature photography and lives with her husband in Detroit's northern suburbs. And she put on a note to me, if the bio is too long, you can skip the 2 middle paragraphs. And that is so perfect for Karen. No, I'm not going to skip all the wonderful things that have happened to you and happened to your books. I'm scrolling through I'm seeing Glennie and Lisa and Jen Jumba, of course, who loves the Ado, and Robin Morris. So pleased to see you all. Gosh, so many people here today. Let me scroll through. And Rena is here, and Missy is here, and now the gang has all gathered. So let me tell you a little bit about our book for today, The Wicked Sister by Karen Dionne. Can you see how gorgeous and sinister that cover is? Look at that eye hiding in the green, and that is very much what it's about. Here's a little bit about The Wicked Sister, and oh, I almost forgot. How could I possibly forget? There is a giveaway. Karen is doing a giveaway here on Facebook. So anyone who leaves a comment on Facebook, and if you have just joined us on Instagram, hi Sarah, please come to Facebook and leave a comment, because we do want you to be entered in the contest. You know the deal with Instagram, right? When we post the video on IGTV, the comments go away, so it's impossible to pick a winner, but we'll do it right here on Facebook, and Karen will pick a winner for a signed copy of The Wicked Sister. So aren't you glad you came here today to possibly win that? All right, so here's a little bit about The Wicked Sister, which is out now from G.P. Putnam, and we are grateful to them for giving us permission, and Karen for giving us permission to read from The Wicked Sister. For a decade and a half, Rachel Cunningham has chosen to lock herself away in a psychiatric facility, tortured by gaps in her memory and the certainty that she is responsible for her parents' deaths. But when she learns new details about their murders, Rachel returns in a quest for answers to the place where she once felt safest, her family's sprawling log cabin in the remote forests of Michigan's Upper Peninsula. As Rachel begins to uncover what really happened on the day her parents were murdered, she learns, as her mother did years earlier, that home can be a place of unspeakable evil, and that the bond she shares with her sister might be the most poisonous one of all. And in the comments, when you ask Karen questions, be sure to ask her about that log cabin, because the log cabin in the novel is based on a real log cabin. And I'm talking about a gorgeous log cabin. So ask Karen about that. I know she'll love to tell you about that. So here is the very brief chapter 1 and a little sneak peek at chapter 2 of The Wicked Sister, which is available now everywhere you buy your books. This is really good. This is a terrific novel. Hannah Mary McKinnon and I take a lot of time to make sure you're hearing really wonderful books, and certainly The Wicked Sister is definitely at the top of that list. So here is The Wicked Sister. You ready? You sitting down with tea and cozy? All right. Chapter 1. Now, and it's entitled Rachel. Sometimes when I close my eyes, there is a rifle in my hands. My hands are small, my fingers are pudgy. I'm 11 years old. There's nothing special about this particular rifle, nothing to distinguish it from any other Remington, except that this is the rifle that killed my mother. In my vision, I am standing over my mother. The rifle is pointing at her chest. Her mouth is open and her eyes are closed. Her chest is red. My father runs into the front hallway. "Rachel," he screams when he sees me. He drops to his knees, gathers my mother in his arms, looks up at me, his expression an unfamiliar jumble of shock and horror. He rocks my mother for a long time, as if she is a baby, as if she is alive. At last he lays her gently on the worn parquet floor and gets slowly to his feet. He takes the rifle from my trembling hands and looks at me with a greater sorrow than I can comprehend, and turns the rifle on himself. "Not so," says the golden orb spider from the middle of her web in a corner of the room where the cleaners never sweep. "Your father killed your mother, and then he killed himself." I don't understand why the spider is lying. Spiders normally tell the truth. "How do you know?" I can't resist asking. She wasn't there when my parents died. I was. The spider regards me solemnly from 8 shiny eyes. "I know," she says. "We all know." Her spiderlings skitter about the edges of the web, as insubstantial as dust motes, and nod. The police ruled my parents' deaths a murder-suicide perpetrated by my father. All the news reports I've been able to find agree. Peter James Cunningham, age 45, murdered his wife, Jennifer Marie Cunningham, age 43, for undetermined reasons, then turned the rifle on himself. Some speculate that I saw my father shoot my mother, and that's why I ran away. Others that I found my parents' bodies, and this is what set me over the edge. I would have told them that I was responsible if I had been able to speak. When I came out of my catatonia 3 weeks later, I made sure that everyone who would listen knew what I had done. But to this day, no one believes me, not even the spider. And here is chapter 2. A little bit of chapter 2. I leave the spider to her offspring and check my watch, a cheap plastic model my Aunt Charlotte bought at the dollar store after the last one she gave me was stolen, and head down 2 flights to the community room. One of the cable channels is showing the original Star Trek movie this afternoon, and I promised my friend Scotty that I'd make sure that nobody changes the channel. My footsteps echo in the empty stairwell. I'm wearing tennis shoes, Velcro fasteners, the only kind we're allowed. The ceramic floor tiles are cracked or missing. The plaster on the walls and ceiling flaked and peeling. My room is in one of the oldest buildings that dates from the hospital's opening in 1895, back when it was called the Upper Peninsula Asylum for the Insane. Newberry Regional Mental Health Center, as it's known today, is definitely better, but it is still what it is, one of 2 major adult psychiatric hospitals in the state of Michigan, this one in the Upper Peninsula and the other in the Lower, where the mentally ill go to get better and the terminally insane live out their days. I fall somewhere in between. I exit the stairwell into a wall of sound. The corridor is crowded. Patients, nurses, patients with nurses in lockstep beside them, because after a meal, bulimics can't be left alone. Orderlies, housekeepers, a doctor in a white coat. I hug the wall, keep my head down. I don't speak to anyone. No one speaks to me. My therapists are always saying that I should get to know my roommates and the others in a therapy group, but it's hard to see the point of making friends with someone who's only going to leave. I navigate the glass-enclosed passageway between the dormitory and the administration building that gets as hot as Hades on a sunny day. Unbreakable plexiglass, the staff makes sure new arrivals know, and open the door to the community room. "Ursa!" Scotty calls from across the room when he sees me. He jumps up and flaps his hands. I smile and wave back. Scotty is a child in a man's body. big and broad-shouldered, with arms that look like they could crush you with a hug, but who's soft as a marshmallow inside, with watery blue eyes and dishwater blonde hair and a mental age of somewhere around 9. Scotty is not his real name, by the way. I only call him that because of his obsession with Star Trek, the same way he calls me Ursula because of my love for bears. Scotty's brother Trevor is also waiting on the sofa. My stomach does its usual flip-flop when I see him. I knew he would be here, of course. He and I have an appointment to talk privately after the movie, but I can't help the effect he has on me. Trevor Leto is 28, 10 years older than Scotty. Trevor Leto is 28, 10 years younger than Scotty, and 2 years older than me. Today, he's wearing a lumberjack shirt with the sleeves turned up to his elbows, Converse sneakers, and jeans, which work well with his brown hair and eyes, and a scruffy beard that manages to look both natural and groomed. I also have brown hair and eyes, and I am wearing jeans and plaid because this is practically the uniform for men and women in the UP. But Trevor pulls off the look in a way that people tend to notice. I'm reasonably certain I'm not the only person at the hospital who has a crush on him. Long time, I say, as I sit down at the other end of the sofa with Scotty between us. You look good. I'm not just being polite. Trevor is deeply tanned and, judging by the corded muscles on his forearms, more fit than I've ever seen him. I guess 6 months backpacking in northern Patagonia will do that for you. Thanks, I just got back. Of course, the first thing I had to do was come see this guy. He punches his brother in the arm. Scotty shushes as the movie begins. The room swells with a predictable chorus of groans and "not this again" and "change the channel," which is why I preset the correct channel earlier this morning and swiped the remote. I turn up the volume and stick the remote behind the couch cushions. As soon as the movie is over, Scotty gets to his feet. 2 weeks, Trevor calls after him as Scotty pivots on his heel and makes a beeline for his room in the men's wing. Scotty doesn't reply. Trevor stands up and stretches. Whew, that was brutal. Are you ready to get started, or do you need a few minutes first? Let's do this. I wouldn't mind a pit stop before we sit down, but the public facilities on this floor are locked, and I don't feel like going down to the main office to beg for the key. I leave the remote on the sofa for whoever wants it and follow Trevor to an empty table as far from the television as possible. When Trevor called saying that he had decided to make journalism his major and asked if he could interview me for one of those "Where Are They Now" follow-up stories, I realized the universe had given me a gift. For 15 years, the idea that my father murdered my mother has stood unchallenged. I am the only one who knows he did not. This interview is a chance to do something good with my useless waste of a life. Possibly the only one I'll get, since reporters haven't exactly been knocking down my door. Still, I'm nervous. Telling an aspiring writer that I killed my mother and letting him publish my truth is bound to carry consequences. Skepticism and ridicule if I am not believed, followed by more therapy, more nightmares, more drugs, maybe going on suicide watch again if it turns out I can't handle the pressure, which I do not want to do, since I won't be left alone for a second, not even when I pee. Or if my story is believed, a police investigation, my father's exoneration, possibly jail time for me. Never mind that once Trevor knows I killed my mother, he will never look at me the same way again. I've seen too many people spill their guts in group therapy, believing that this will make them feel better, only to discover that revealing their deepest, darkest secrets invariably makes things 1,000 times worse. Once you know that someone's uncle molested her while her stepfather recorded it so they could sell the videos on the dark web, or that the cute guy you had a crush on when you were 14 spent the first 7 years of his life believing he was a girl because that's how his mother dressed and treated him, and at 16 he was still struggling with gender issues, or that your new roommate's parents tracked every morsel of food that passed her lips, and if she gained so much as half a pound, she had to work out for hours in an exercise room that was more like a torture chamber. It's hard to forget. I remind myself that I want to do this. Trevor may have initiated this interview, but I am here by choice. Ah, oh my golly, that is, you can hear that I've lost the photo of this. Let me find the Marsh King's Daughter photo for you. You can hear what a fantastic book The Wicked Sister is, just from that really sinister, multi-layered beginning where Rachel is making a choice about whether to tell her truth about what she truly believes happened. And I'm not giving anything away by saying to you that what happens next in this story is that she learns something that will change her life. And there the book goes on, and you will hear it too. So as we said in our video, we can read you the first chapter, but the rest of it you have to read for yourself. And that is certainly what we are hoping you will do. Jen Jumba is saying, so good. Sarah is saying, wow, hello. Daly is saying, love this. Diana is saying, sounds great. Oh my goodness, thank you all. Yes, this is spectacular writing, best-selling writing, compelling and sinister and relentless and multi-layered and really, really glorious. The Wicked Sister by the incredible Karen Dionne. And again, don't forget, you can win this book. Rena is saying absolutely wonderful, which it is. I can't wait to see the Facebook comments. This is so tempting to just go to another page and look at them, but I will look at them later, and I know Karen is there too, so that's great, and Hannah. The Wicked Sister by Karen Dionne, and you can win this, enter to win, by leaving a comment on our Facebook page. And do tell your friends to come join us at First Chapter Fun. We have so many wonderful books coming up, like The Wicked Sister, and I know you will want to hear these first chapters, and it's a way to bring us all together, as we always say. So that was The Wicked Sister. Now, Tuesday, right here on First Chapter Fun, talk about something completely different. Karen is saying, thank you all. You're welcome. We love this, Karen. You know, we love Hannah Mary McKinnon, and I love reading these first chapters. It's so much fun for us. Jen's saying she's got to get to the reference desk. Look at this, what we're having for next week. Delicious Killer Kung Pao by Vivian Chen. That is pretty much the opposite of The Wicked Sister, but it is a really fun and terrifically delicious book. Sarah's saying, another book that I need. Yes, indeed. That is the clever plan that Hannah Mary McKinnon and I have to make your TBR piles grow and grow and grow. So we are so pleased that you are all here today, here on Instagram, here on Facebook. We loved having you. We loved reading this to you. It is, our half hour is up, I fear. Robin is saying, oh, I so enjoyed that. I was driving. Oh, that's so interesting to think if you heard it in the car, Robin. That's kind of cool. Oh, and Jen is saying, I heart Vivian. She's a Cleveland girl too. Thank you, Diane. We are doing a great job. Hannah and I work hard on this, and we so enjoy our Tuesdays and Thursdays with you all. And it is such a treat to see all your names and little faces pop up, because this is why we do it, is for you and for the authors. And so you can all find fabulous new books. So we love you. We're pleased that you were here today. So pleased that you were here today, and we hope to see you on Tuesday. So until then, please, you know what we will say now. Hannah Mary McKinnon and I always say, stay safe, stay kind, and we will see you next time. Love you so much.